Are you down for this? If you're in the mood, can take it to the moon. Just like a movie scene, table for two.
Good morning everyone, I'm Shella May Camara. I'm your demo teachers for today and with my partner Wendy Harjulen, and we will tackle all about malnourishment and hunger. So pag sinabi nating malnourishment and hunger, so it is actually part of the world issues. So simply because it's affect the health of the individuals. And dahil dito is pwede siyang mag-lead into economic crisis. So because if mataas yung malnutrition rate sa isang bansa, is mataas din yung healthcare cost ng bansa na yon. So ibig sabihin is bumababa din yung mga productivity which can lead to poverty and ill health. So now let's tackle what is malnourishment and hunger. So malnourishment and hunger. Currently there are 795 million people lack sufficient food. A long-term solution involves poverty reduction through job training, education, and skills development in areas like cooking and gardening, enabling people to earn enough to buy foods or even produce their own. So, yung malnourishment and hunger. So, in order to address malnourishment and hunger, is dapat muna nating, sabi daw dito, is dapat muna nating ma-resolve yung problem sa kahirapan or pababain yung poverty rate. So, because malnourishment and hunger is siya yung bunga kung bakit maraming tao yung naghihirap. So, in order to eradicate the poverty, so dapat maging accessible daw yung education sa mga mamamayan. Kasi sa loob ng paaralan is dito tinuturo yung mga basic skills, life skills, and sa pamamagitan nito is magagamit nila to sa paghahanap ng trabaho. So, yung role naman ng gobyerno dito is mag-produce ng maraming trabaho para magkaroon ng available job yung mga mamamayan. So, kinakailangan lang dapat is qualified ka sa trabahong yun. Kasi kapag may trabaho, syempre merong kikitain. So, syempre, yung kita na yun is hindi naman nakukuha ng buo. So, yung iba kasi doon is may part doon is napupunta din sa mga tax. And yung natitira naman is yun na yung ginagamit ng ilang mga mamamayan na para gastusin or para may panggastos sila sa pang-araw-araw katulad ng pagkain, shelter, and clothing. So next is malnutrition. So malnutrition encompasses various forms including undernutrition, wasting, stunting, underweight, insufficient vitamins and mineral, overweight, and obesity leading to diet-related diseases. So pag sinabi naman nating malnutrition, so under siya ng undernutrition and overnutrition. Kalimitan ang alam ng marami is pag sinabing malnutrition ay dahil kulang sa timbang lang o kaya payat yung isang tao. So yung malnutrition is meron siyang dalawang uri, the undernutrition and overnutrition. So sa undernutrition is ito na yung kaya nagiging payat, pandak at kulang sa timbang yung tao is dahil kulang yung mga vitamina at mineral na nakukuha ng kanilang katawan mula doon sa mga pagkain na kinakain nila. So, sa overnutrition naman, ito naman yung labis na pagkain or sobra sa timbang ng isang tao kaya siya ay nagiging overweight or obese. So, pwede siyang mag-lead into diet-related diseases. So, like yung diabetes, sakit sa puso, so, marami pang iba. So, next is food availability. The world produces enough food to feed everyone, yet millions remain hungry. This discrepancy is linked to issues beyond mere food production. Food availability. So, ibig sabihin is kahit na sapat na yung pagkain na binibigay ng gobyerno para sa mga mamamayan is mayroon pa rin ibang dahilan kung bakit marami pa rin ang nagugutom. So, isa sa mga dahilan nito is hindi pantay yung pag-distribute ng pagkain sa iba't ibang lugar. So may mga bansa na kasi na sobra yung supply ng pagkain. So, yung mga sobra na yun is naaaksayan lang nila katulad ng mga mayayamang bansa. At meron namang lugar na hindi naaabutan ng supply ng pagkain dahil mahirap sa kanila yung transportation. Or yung iba kasi is malalayo sila sa kalsada at may hirap yung daanan papunta sa kanila. So, at higit sa lahat is maraming tao din ang walang trabaho kaya wala silang sapat na pera para makabili ng kanilang mga pangangailangan sa pang-araw-araw. So, kahit na yung mga bilihin is available naman para sa lahat. So, number 1 na may kaso ng malnourishment and hunger is yung bansang Africa. So, sa bansang Africa kasi is matataas yung bilang ng kahirapan. So, kalahati ng population nila is nagsasuffer sa kahirapan. So, ang ilan sa mga dahilan nito is number 1 is pagtaas ng kanilang population. Ay yung ilan sa kanila is hindi nakakakain ng sapat sa pang-araw-araw. Number 2 is kakulangan sa edukasyon. So, kulang yung mga knowledge nila para matugunan nila yung pangangailangan nila sa pang-araw-araw. Pangatlo is kawalan ng trabaho. So, wala silang sapat. Pag wala silang trabaho, is wala silang kikitain. Ibig sabihin is wala silang sapat na pera para pambili ng mga pangangailangan nila. So, number 4 is kakulangan sa mga infrastructure kagaya ng transportation, mga healthcare services, and malalayo din sila sa kalsada. And number 4 is pabago-bago yung kanilang klima. So, nakakaranas sila ng tagtuyot dahil dito is bumababa yung kanilang ani. Or bumababa yung ani ng kanilang mga pananim at ilan is namamatay yung kanilang mga alagang hayop. Next is malnutrition. This encompasses both undernutrition and overnutrition. So, yung malnutrition, sabi ko nga kanina, is meron siyang dalawang uri. So, under siya ng undernutrition and overnutrition. So, sa undernutrition, this is the deficiency in the intake of essential nutrients including calories, protein, vitamins, and minerals. It's manifest to several ways. So, kapag sinabi naman undernutrition, ito na yung kulang yung sustansya na nakukuha ng ating katawan sa mga kinakain natin. Kaya yung isang tao ay nagiging payat, kulang sa timbang, nagiging pandak, or stunted yung isang tao. So, undernutrition, so, it manifests in several ways: the wasting, stunting, underweight, microdeficiencies. So, wasting, low weight for height indicating recent severe weight loss. So, wasting, ito na yung mababang timbang para sa taas or laki ng isang tao. Next is stunting, low weight for age reflecting chronic undernutrition during childhood. ito naman yung nagiging pantakang isang tao kapag yung laki niya is hindi angkop doon sa kanyang edad. So, for example is 10 years old ka na pero yung height mo is parang pang 7 years old pa lang. So, next is underweight. Low weight for age. A general indicator of undernutrition. This can be caused by insufficient food intake, poor absorption of nutrients, or increased nutrient requirements due to illness. So, ito naman yung kulang sa timbang yung isang tao kaya hindi tama yung kanyang paglaki. Kaya nagiging payat or pandak yung isang tao. So, the last is micronutrient deficiencies. Lack of specific vitamins and minerals like iron, vitamin A, night for blindness, iodine for goiter and zinc, impaired growth and immunity. These deficiencies can lead to severe health problems and development delays. So, sa microdeficiencies naman, kulang yung nutrients na nakukuha ng ating katawan mula roon sa mga kinakain natin. So, hindi tayo nakakakain ng sapat na katulad ng mayayaman sa mga bitamina at minerals. So, once na yung isang tao ay may microdeficiencies, is maaring lapitin siya ng mga sakit and also babagal yung kanyang paglaki. Next is overnutrition. This involves excessive consumption of calories and nutrients, primarily leading to obesity. Obesity significantly increases the risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, heart diseases, stroke, certain cancers, and osteoarthritis. It's often associated with unhealthy dietary patterns and a lack of physical activity. So, sa overnutrition is kabaliktaran naman siya ng undernutrition. So, ito naman yung labis na sustansya na nakukuha ng isang tao mula doon sa kanyang mga kinakain na nagdudulot ng pagiging overweight or sobra sa timbang or pagiging obese ng isang tao. So, ang pagiging obese is or mataba is maaari siyang mag-lead into or mag-cause ng blood pressure, pagtaas ng calories, heart diseases, and diabetes. Next is hunger. This is the uneasy or painful sensation caused by a lack of foods. It is a psychological drive, but its experience is also influenced by social and psychological factors. Chronic hunger, lasting for extended periods, inevitably leads to undernutrition and malnutrition. So, yung hunger, so this affect the health of the individuals dahil sa kakulangan sa pagkain. So, it's a psychological drive. So, halimbawa ng psychological drive is kapag papasok tayo ng trabaho is walang laman yung ating tiyan. So, is pwedeng hindi tayo ganahan magtrabaho or hindi tayo makakapagtrabaho ng maayos kapag walang laman yung ating tiyan. So, wala tayong energy para gawin yung mga gawain na pinapagawa sa atin. So, influenced by social and psychological factors. So, na-influensyan din siya ng social and psychological factors. So, ito naman yung na pwedeng maapektuhan yung ating mental health and pwede siyang mag-lead into depression, stress, and health problems. So, Pwede din tayo makaranas ng chronic hunger kung saan is hindi tayo nakakakain ng sapat na pwedeng lead into malnutrition and undernutrition. So, that's all po. Next demo teachers na po, which is Harjolyn Wendy.
We have different causes of malnutrition and hunger. First is poverty. Poverty is lack of resources to purchase sufficient and nutritious food. So, poverty is mostly the reason kung bakit nakakaranas ng malnourishment and hunger yung mga tao. So, because of poverty, wala silang kakayahan or sapat na pera pambili ng mga nutritious food na kailangan para sa healthy body. So, second is food insecurity. Food insecurity is lack of consistent access to adequate amounts of safe and nutritious food. So, kadalasan itong nangyayari or na-encounter ng mga bata. Kasi instead of eating vegetable or healthy foods, mas gusto nilang kumakain ng mga junk foods, soft drinks, or mga unhealthy foods that can cause malnutrition and hunger or mas malala pang sakit. Third is conflict and displacement. Disruption of food production, distribution, and access due to war or natural disasters. So, when we say conflict and displacement, kadalasan itong nangyayari kapag may extreme pandemic or disaster, which is nagkakaubusan ng production ng food tulad ng nung may COVID-19, di ba? So, naranasan natin yung limited lang na distribution or buying of food para di agad magkaubusan ng supply. So, isa din siya sa nagiging cause ng malnutrition and hunger. Kasi di ba limited na lang yung nabibili natin na healthy foods. So, meaning to say, nababawasan yung na-absorb ng body natin na nutrition para maging healthy tayo. So, next is climate change. Climate change, extreme weather events, and changing climate patterns affect crop yields and food availability. So, climate change is similar siya doon sa conflict and displacement. So, pinagkaiba lang nila is sa conflict and displacement, limited yung production of foods para di magkaubusan and pwede siya agad ma-resolve. Sa climate change naman is as in wala ng halos foods kasi nasira or naubos ng mga natural disaster. And mas matagal ito ma-resolve kasi magtatanim na naman yan ulit sila and matatagalan pa bago magkaroon ulit ng ani. Next is inequality. Inequality is unequal distribution of resources and opportunities leading to disparities in access to food. So, inequality is one of the reason of hunger and malnutrition. Inequality is madalas siyang nangyayari. Yung dinidigdig nila yung estado ng mga tao based on its appearance. Mas pinipili nilang bigyan ng foods or mag-distribute ng foods doon sa mga taong kaya pa naman and di pa naman nila kailangan na food kasi meron silang pambili. While yung mga tao na walang-wala na talaga, bihira lang nila mabigyan. Or limited lang yung pagbigay ng distribution of foods nila, which is kadalasan hindi na naaabot yung mga taong mas kailangan yung libreng pagkain and healthy foods. For sanitation and hygiene naman is increased risk of foodborne illnesses and infection, reducing nutrient absorption. So, kapag sinabi natin for sanitation and hygiene, so yung improper way ng pagluluto or paglilinis ng mga pagkain can also cause different diseases. Like yung way of cooking ng mga taga-India, diba? Mostly lack of hygiene sila. Madumi pa yung kamay nila is yun yung ginagamit nila madalas panghalo. And then, yung pinagkukunan nila ng water is madumi din. Like sa mga squatter, diba? Yung mga pinagkukunan nila ng water is hindi na siya hygienic. And also, yung mga foods nila is kadalasan pinupulot na lang nila sa basurahan. Next is lack of education and awareness. So limited knowledge about nutrition and healthy eating practices. So pwede siya mag-cause ng malnutrition and hunger. So kapag hindi sapat yung knowledge natin about sa healthy living or healthy lifestyle, pwede siyang maging cause ng malnutrition and hunger. Kasi 'di ba, like for example, alam naman nating bawal yung sobrang dami ng soft drinks na iniinom, ginagawa pa din natin. So, masama yun kasi it can lead to different harmful diseases tulad ng acidity, UTI, and madami pang iba. So, mas maganda na aware tayo kung anong klase ba na healthy lifestyle yung gagawin natin. And anong klase ba ng foods yung dapat i-maintain natin and dapat iwasan natin. So, next is health issues. So, illnesses and diseases can affect nutrient absorption and increase nutritional needs. So, ang health issue naman is yung mga tao na may mga sakit or hindi balance yung pag-absorb nila ng nutritions, like kahit kain sila ng kain, di pa din sila tumataba or malnourished pa din sila. Tapos, meron namang sobrang taba kaagad kahit unti lang yung kinakain. Kumbaga, yung metabolism niya is hindi normal. So, yun yung kadalasang health issue ng mga tao, kaya hindi nila na-absorb or hindi tama yung pag-absorb nila ng mga nutritious food. So, let's move on to the consequences of malnutrition and hunger. First is increased mortality and morbidity. So, undernutrition weakens the immune system, making individuals more susceptible to infections and diseases. So, meaning to say, kapag sinabi nating increased mortality and mobility, so kapag malnourished ka or yung bata, nagiging mahina yung immune system mo, which is mas prone ka sa sakit, infection, or yung mga mabilis lang makahawa na diseases. Kumbaga, mabilis ka lang kapitan ng sakit because of malnourishment. So, next is impaired physical and cognitive development. So, dito naman is di tama yung paglaki mo, like halimbawa, you're turning 21 pero yung katawan mo is pang grade 6 or mapat lang. Also, kapag malnourished ka, yung cognitive or naapektuhan nito yung learning mo. Kumbaga, mabublay ka lang sa school, matamlay, laging lutang sa school, or hindi nakpa-function ng maayos yung brain mo because of malnourishment. Next is reduced productivity and economic losses. So, malnutrition affects physical and mental capabilities, reducing work productivity. So, when we say reduce productivity and economic losses, so malnutrition can affect your physical ability. Like sabi ko nga kanina, matamlay ka lang or palaging walang gana, so that wala kang ginagawa kundi maupo lang or higa, kaya hindi ka naging productive. It can also cause sa kabawasan ng ating economic growth. Kasi imbis makapag-isip ka ng new idea or matutulong na ambag para sa economic growth, wala, ayun ka lang, tulog. So, yan yung consequences ng malnutrition and hunger. So, yun nga, lagi ka lang matamlay, kaya hindi ka productive, hindi ka nakakikipagsalamuha sa ibang bata or sa ibang tao kasi palagi ka lang nasa loob ng bahay, which is parang hindi na nababanat yung katawan mo, and also pabigat ka pa. yung atake mo. So, next is social and economic instability. Hunger and malnutrition can lead to social unrest, conflict, and migration. So, pag sinabi nating social and economic instability, so malnutrition can impact your socialization. Kasi 'di ba, matamlay ka lang, di ka halos nalabas ng bahay, sabi ko nga kanina. So, meaning, ang socialization lang na nagaganap is sa loob lang ng family mo. Di wala ka masyadong kaibigan. Also, when you're encountering malnourishment, prone ka sa bully and discrimination na nakakaapekto sa mental health mo and also sa economy natin. So, addressing malnutrition and hunger requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the underlying causes, including poverty reduction, improved food security, conflict resolution, climate change mitigation, and better healthcare and education para ma-solve yung malnourishment and hunger natin.